Hi, Guido Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuw Spiritual Book Report, live coaching book report. And today I want to discuss with you the book from Osho, A Bird of the Wing, Zen Anecdotes for Every Life. He discovered and was reading a lot of Zen masters and all the wisdoms, all the deeper wisdoms of life. He combined from all those Zen masters in this wonderful book. I think the book is around 240 pages. I read it for you guys, so you know all those wisdoms on earth about Zen and the wisdoms from the Zen masters. Okay, let's start. First, I want to talk with you about Buddha, about Gautam Buddha. He escaped from the palace. He was going to be a king, but he chose for the spiritual path, and he escaped from from his parents. He escaped from the palace, and he was going to the forest to find his spiritual line, to find his chakra activations, to go on the spiritual path in the forest, to come by himself, to create an alone path. The spiritual path is a lone path, is an out of crowd path, out of crowd conditioning path, and is an alone path where you can be confronted with yourself, right? So a lot of people are doing group courses and college forms about self-study and going alone and have lonely walks, lonely meditations. No group meditations, guys. Meditation alone. So alone is the path. So Buddha was sitting alone under the Bodhi tree. So the story is that, the mediocre story is that he was sitting under a tree and he became enlightened. I know for sure enlightenment is a long path, very long. So Buddha was doing 6 years about his enlightenment, and enlightenment has different stages of awakening and different stages of opening up your body chakras, your 7 chakras in your energetic system. So 6 years he was doing his enlightenment courses, his self-study, his loneliness path. But the story is for the people, he's sitting on a tree and he became enlightenment in once. I can say that's wrong, that's not true, but the parable here, the story is here that under the tree you can escape from society. Under the tree you can hide yourself from society. Under the tree you can escape from the quarreling, from the destructive persons around you, your toxic persons, the toxic dynamics. You can escape. You can escape under a tree. You can hide yourself under a tree. So he became enlightened because he was renouncing the world, the quarreling, the stupid talks. Always drama, right? Always drama. Always drama from your youth, for your system. And I can imagine, right? He was supposed to be a king, and he heard all those stories about the country and what is going wrong. All those complaints of all those people. He wanted to escape from that world. escape from that ego world, escaping from ego conditionings. That is the deepest sentence of the Bodhi tree. Escaping under a tree, escaping from the world. He slept under the Bodhi tree, completely free from this world. You can only go higher in spirituality if you escape. You have to step out. And completely free from the very search for that world. So there is no search anymore. The most people are living in this world and have a goal. I want to become a doctor. I want to become $1 million. I want to become rich. So he was completely free from this world, and I was completely free from that world, from the future world, because we are always programmed to go somewhere, to have a goal, to become someone. So your mind is very competition minded. Your mind is very competition minded. From the school systems you are in, for the examples of your father or your mother or your uncles or your friends. It's always about cars, about money. So out of the competition and out of the future competition goals. For the first time, Buddha was utterly relaxed, and no desire to find anything, no desire to become anything. And in that moment of non-desiring, he suddenly awaked in the present moment, and became a Buddha. And Buddhahood came to him in a relaxed state. And that is how it should be, right? I think we need first a relaxed state and then the rest. And only in a relaxed state you can come higher in your spiritual levels. So the relaxed state, you have to work more on your relaxed state. And meditate more. Meditate more to become more in a relaxed state. And then you can chill under a tree, right? And under a tree it's nice cool. It's nice cool and you feel some breeze there. So the tree is holy, the holy tree. Sitting under a holy tree, just sitting under a tree and watch the people. Sitting under a tree and relax. Take time for yourself, right? More. And load the battery. Because you live in a very competitive mindset. Page 45. A warrior is simple. And this is interesting because Jesus were saying that prostitutes can reach heaven, more easily than businessmen. And what Jesus and Osho here mean is that businessmen are tuning and thinking all the time, are head orientated, are tuning and thinking. And I'm not against businessmen or money, it's all fine, but it's about the mindset here. And Osho is saying here, a warrior is simple. He's in a situation of living and death. A warrior is in the moment. He's completely in the moment with a kind of alertness. And I'm against violence. I'm against weapons. It's all unnecessary if you talk to your enemy and give each other something, right? But the point is, be a spiritual warrior here. A spiritual warrior. Live in the moment with alertness. Live in the moment. Fight for the line. And don't be afraid for the death. Don't be afraid for death. Those typical warrior mentality is necessary for spiritual growth and for reaching higher and higher ecstatic levels. The warrior mindset, the spiritual warrior mindset of discipline, alertness, living in the now. And you have only two choices. Live. Live non-ego wise. Live in a line. Or you live dead. You live unfulfilled. You live in ego mentality. So that are the deepest sentence about be a warrior, or what Jesus were saying, be a little bit more prostitute. Share more love, share more touchings. Be a more feeling person. That's what Jesus was saying. He's saying businessmen or priests cannot reach as soon as heaven than prostitutes. So be a little bit more touching. Be a little bit more sharing. Page 45. I will check it out if I missed something in my story. It's difficult to find a businessman who is simple. He is always cunning and clever, otherwise he cannot be a businessman. A warrior is always simple, otherwise he cannot be a warrior. He knows only two things, life and death, nothing much. And his life is always at stake. He is always gambling. He is always on adventure. He is always on adventure. We don't live an adventurous life. The most lives are always planned. It seems a triad. About 10 years I want to reach that. We don't live an adventurous life. No. So the warrior is always gambling. Always gambling. Live an intense, adventurous life full with new impressions and learning material. Page 69. Consciousness is always constantly new. It's interesting to understand. If you create more consciousness in yourself, the things in your surrounding become more and more new. So you become really in a new kind of reality where everything is more sparkling in the outside world. So there is also some quote, right? You are a reflection of the world in your surroundings. So the world shines through your heart, right? So if you have a good heart, you have a sharing heart, you have a peaceful heart, the world is shining back. And that's the same with consciousness. That is above mindset. It's about positive thinking. It's more deeper, it's more energetically wise. So if you create more consciousness, everything becomes new and challenging and spiking. So I live now for 4 years in Amsterdam, I think 7 years and 4 years here, and every day is for me a new day. I don't need to move constantly or getting new impressions, new searching for new things all the time. So my surroundings is constantly refreshed and new. And I lived here in Amsterdam in different spiritual stages, in different calibration levels, in different spiritual calibration levels. So every time I reach higher spiritual levels, everything becomes constantly new. So the most people, 99% are staying on the same spiritual level, and they want constantly change their environment. They change a new city, they want to have a new house and they're moving all the time. But if you're higher in your spirituality, higher and higher, how less you feel the urge to change constantly your environment. You're incredible happy at the place you are now. Completely satisfied with the place where you live. And if you're completely satisfied with the place where you live, people are coming to you. You become an attractor field. And everything becomes more and more and more beautiful. More and more and more beautiful. Your environment, page 72, is not burdened by memory. So when you opened your crown chakra and the third eye chakra and the hidradha in your palm chakras, your mind is not reacting on your memory anymore. Your burdened memory, because you're healed your past. So 99% of the people are acting from past traumatic experience and burdened memory, so they are not open and trustful to their environment. How higher in your spiritual energy, how higher in your spiritual stages, how more you become a child, how more you act as a child, how more everything becomes more adventurous, challenging. You want to discover things, persons. So higher spiritual is also the healing of your past and open for new things. Like a child with open eyes to the world, right? They're so open, innocent, and want to discover the things. Why mom is happening this or that? They are curious. So curiosity is linked with spirituality. And that makes you more ecstatic. That makes you more happy. And you become weightlessness. If you're healing your burden memory, you become more weightlessness. Lichter. Not only your field becomes more light, also the way of moving. You become lighter and you step lighter on this earth. And you have much more energy. You are much more relaxed. And you can walk on earth with light steps. Page 114. I throw you back in the Garden of Eden. I throw you back. I throw you back in heavenly atmosphere where you came from. You came from heaven, but you are corrupted by society. You are corrupted by society plus parental conditionings to make slaves of you. Mental slaves to become machines. I throw you back to heavenly atmospheres, back to the Garden of Eden, where there is no shame, where there is no shame to put off your clothes, to put off your clothes, to be naked again. And I mean, with naked, I mean put off your mask, the society mask, to be someone else somewhere there. And then you are someone else there. When you reach higher stages of spirituality, you become one. You become one mask. You become your real soul. Your real soul that is uncorrupted by society. Uncorrupted by society. I will remove your ego mask. I make you naked again. Naked again. With no shame. No shame to be naked. I throw you back to the Garden of Eden. The egoless world. The egoless world. The Bodhi tree world. The tree world. The Garden of Eden. The tree world. To become more and warrior. To become more and warrior in the Garden of Eden, right? You become more efficient in the Garden of Eden if you hold your line, if you hold your 7 chakra activations. You become more efficient, you can do more things in little time, and the quality is rising up, rising up. Your mind is conditioned in focus for a long time, but the most people, 99%, are empty after a couple of hours focusing. And you see the quality of someone's work is going down and down. But withholding your 7-point chakras, being there, you become much more efficient. And the quality of your work is rising and rising and rising. So you become more efficient, so you can have more time. You can have more time for the Garden of Eden, right? So the Garden of Eden is waiting for you. And you can have some more time for yourself and some more time for relaxing. The Garden of Eden is the paradise. Paradise from relaxing. And you can reach it now. There are always stories that you can reach the paradise later. After you dead, if you behave bravely, following the society conditionings, then you will reach heaven. No way. No way. You can reach heaven now. You can be extremely happy, extremely relaxed now. Not in the future. Come on, that's false. That is giving people false hope, so you can corrupt the minds to hold them 60 hours per week slaves, to do what society dictates in sexual sense, to be monogam slaves. No. You can have your virgins now. You can have your virgins now in the Garden of Eden. But you have to have the Upsurge of Energy. 234, page 234, Osho, Upsurge of Energy. So when you're opening your 3 hearts on a row, and slightly your palm chakras, the energy wants to go up, the energy wants to go up. Higher, 3rd eye chakra, and your energy is going up, up, up. Up, up, up. That's the whole point. And then the halo, the view, the hallowed presence will arriving. The hallowed presence will arriving. It comes to you. It comes to you, but it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort. Thank you for watching this spiritual video, and I wish you a wonderful day.